What's up, everybody? Brad here, and it's time to go through another 10 characters I want to see in MultiVersus. It's been a while since I've done this, and because the last video I did, it did pretty well for me, and we got a lot of comments of people suggesting the characters they want to see, so I thought let's do this again. Especially since in the time that I did that video, the game was still, I think, largely still just rumored. It was a big rumor that had a lot of things going in its favor, but we hadn't seen anything, solid from it yet. But then we got a trailer. We've got some news and announcements since then. In my previous video like this, I did get one of my guesses. I thought Garnet would be a good rep for Steven Universe. We got both Garnet and Steven in the game. Not only that, but in the time that original trailer dropped, they have gone back and reworked Steven's model in the game to look even closer to how he looked in the show. So, good for them. And just last night, we got the random announcement that Velma from Scooby-Doo is going to be in the game. So, this is taking a long time for him to give us actual news. But anyway, let's quit talking about all that stuff for now and get right into this. One character I think we should see in this game should be KO from OKKO, because this show is basically just Cartoon Network's version of Dragon Ball. Look on the screen. You got Goku, Bulma, and Piccolo right there. And it's a show about fighting and being heroes. So, yeah. Plus, there's already a lot of crossover elements with this show. I mean, most famous one being, of course, Captain Planet, and even Sonic the Hedgehog showed up in an episode. So, then there was the big, what was it, crossover Nexus, I think that was a OKKO episode, actually, or special. Not entirely sure. It's been a little while since I've seen that one. But anyway, yeah, you could probably put any number of these characters in there, and it would work. Plus, a lot of people felt like OKKO didn't get enough, didn't get the love that it deserved when the show was airing, so you could show it some love here. Next character we got, I think, would be a good rep for... Let me find my place in my image folder, because I forgot how I ordered them. This would be a good character for representation in a different aspect of the DC universe. And I'm talking specifically Young Justice, and I'm talking specifically about Aqualad. Like, I loved the first 2 seasons of Young Justice that ran on TV, and when they canceled it, even though it was like one of their highest rated shows, just because they couldn't get a toy deal, that's really what aggravated me. I haven't seen any of the new seasons yet. I just have not taken the time to check them out. I think I've heard that it's supposed to be good stuff. And I think Aqualad, as he serves more as the leader of, what did they call him? The team? Yeah, they just called him the team. But I think he served as a good leader and an interesting character. And I think this version of him was original for Young Justice. This was a brand new version of Aqualad. So if you really wanted to get in there and try to pull in different versions of different characters, like you will have your... Batman is kind of just Batman, No matter what, like the skin, like there's the generic Batman skin, the default Batman skin you got, and then they showed a version of him that was based on the animated series. But still, Batman is typically Batman. But here you've got a completely different version of Aqualad that I think would work very well. Plus his powers, with the mace or the blades that he carries that can form. I mean, it's just cool. It would work pretty well. Next we got, who we got next? Oh, speaking of lots of action going on in the superhero realm, this time we're going to pick a character that's not from any actual show, but instead a show of shows. And those of you who grew up in the 90s will definitely know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the host of Toonami himself, Tom. Now, which version of Tom could they put in there? I'd say any of the ones from 2.0 on, because I think you could just mix and match the skins, and they would probably work pretty well. But, I mean, This model of Tom, this Tom, they call him Tom 3.5, the first of the Adult Swim era Toms. Uh, it was basically more or less the same model as the original Tom 3. They just had fresher animation for him. So if you wanted to connect the Toonami to its legacy, you could do that. You could maybe go back to Tom 1 if you really wanted to throw back to the original Tom, which got a sort of a guest appearance in the part 2 of The Intruder for Adult Swim. That was a cool little moment. And Sonny Strait, the original Tom 1, even came back to voice the Intruder Tom 1 hybrid creature for that special. But yeah, Tom likes to get down and dirty and fight. We've seen him fight a lot. Adult Swim has made this Cosmos Samurai. I think it's Cosmic Samurai, Cosmos Samurai. I can't remember which one it is. It's basically a Tom anime, a little anime miniseries featuring Tom. So why not put him in there? I think that would be a really cool thing because his origin is as a TV host. You don't really see too many things like that. A character like this last. Another character I think we could see, and for a lot different reason. I think that this would be the perfect time if you really wanted to salvage a dead franchise. You could put in some of the Lunatics characters. This is Lexi Bunny, which is just the action this show's version of Lola, which they changed their personalities a lot. So this show is kind of its own, it's its own thing. But they're superheroes. They're the Looney Tunes as superheroes. And I think it was supposed to be a little more serious. I think I remember trying to watch this show back in the day and something just didn't connect for me. But I think the character designs at least look cool. I think that if you put them in a fighting game with like characters like, of course, Batman and Superman, I mean, it wouldn't be that wild. We've seen Bugs Bunny's likeness in a DC movie. What was it? The New Frontier, I think it was. Justice League New Frontier. A New Frontier, where the Martian Manhunter is watching TV and he shapeshifts into whatever it is he's watching. And at some point he comes across a Looney Tunes short and he's sitting there drinking a beer, having morphed into Bugs Bunny. That also aired on Toonami, by the way. They aired that movie there. The first and only time I can think of that Bugs Bunny's likeness has appeared within Toonami, which primarily runs anime. So there's a moment for the history books. But yeah, I think that the Lunatics could stand to get some love here. I don't know if they would work just as skins, like the Bugs Bunny, kind of character. I don't know what his name is, but I don't know if you really want to put him as just a Bugs Bunny skin instead of just as a completely different character. But, this is probably a long shot. I don't think anybody really cares about this show enough to want to see them come back. So, don't expect this one. But another character I think that we could see, it has a very good chance of ending up in this game, Captain Planet. I mean, like I said earlier with OKKO, Captain Planet appeared in an episode of OKKO. I think. Now I'm doubting myself. Was it OKKO or Teen Titans? I think it was OKKO. I'm not sure. It looks like they spoofed him. He was in OKKO. I was correct about that. But I feel like he was in something else too, and I can't remember what it was. It seems like every so often Captain Planet shows up in something. But there was a Cartoon Network fighting game that he was in. I think it was like a GameCube game or something like that. But you gotta put Captain Planet in there. Like, I think it would be pretty cool to see Captain Planet fight Superman, since they're supposed to be like, the big, heroes. Sunlight gives them power. They have a lot of the same powers, by the way, too. Like, I think Captain Planet even has like the I think he can freeze things with his breath. I know he's at least got super breath. He can create like tornadoes and like hurricane gales with it. He could survive lava and anything else. He's made up of the elements. So that would be an interesting fight. Superman versus Captain Planet. I'd love to see something. I'd love to see that fight. So we're halfway through this list, and we're going to go from talking about Superman to Super Cow. Yes, put Super Cow in this game. Come on. Super Cow, al rescate! That would be so... That'd just be so crazy. Again, talking about matching characters up, I love to do the versus Batman thing, but again, Super Cow versus Superman. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Just for the absurdity. You gotta just go all in this and just embrace the weirdness, embrace just how wild this is gonna be, and just do it. If you want to go even weirder, put the red guy in there. I doubt he'll make it, but at least Super Cow would be really funny. I don't think Super Cow doesn't have any real powers aside of she can fly, but and she's like really strong, but like just the I think it's mostly just the flying. But I don't know, like I think it would be hilarious. We need more gag characters in there. And I would consider Bugs Bunny a gag character. It's slapstick comedy. You know, let's see more of that kind of thing go in there. Like I said, Warner Brothers has so many characters. They could do so much. And this roster could get so crazy. I hope that they will dip into some of these older shows that we haven't seen in a while. You're not going to see Cow and Chicken back on TV ever again. But you could put some of these old characters in this new game, and it would probably drive interest in them. You know, you don't have to create a new Cow and Chicken show. You don't have to reboot the show, but if you've thrown it up on your streaming service, it might actually get people to remember that and say, hey, I remember that screwed up kind of show. Let's go watch some of it for old time's sake. So yeah, let's show some love to some of these old characters. Now, this is a character that's not old, but I think you could do. You can go about this two different ways. I picked this image here because this is the one that I think was sort of a very cool moment. Or I hesitated to use the word iconic because I don't think it quite fits that very. Iconic seemed like too important of a word for this. But Nicole Watterson from The Amazing World of Gumball, the anime fight, the fight that looks like it was animated by Studio Trigger. You could put Nicole in, and because she's usually depicted as this very strong warrior type character, and this fight was really cool for what it is. I mean, it really was. And I guess you could also just put her in her standard design and give her all the martial arts abilities, and that would work too. But if you put her in the game, then you have to give her the anime skin. You could probably just do it that way. Put her in as her default usual design, and then offer a skin of her in the anime style. You probably have to buy it, but I mean, at least then it would be in the game. But there's really not anything else to say. You could probably put a bunch of different Gumball characters in there just for how, again, lean into the absurdity of it. This is a crazy idea. Have fun with it. And considering I'm almost talked for about 15 minutes now, and I don't want this video to be super long, next up, I'm saying we need to have Thundar. Thundar the Barbarian. I mean, the Sun Sword. You could put in Princess Ariel and Ukla there. That's the only way that character ever spoke. Basically, like a Chewbacca-like character, I think. But, yeah, Thundar himself, pretty cool character, I think. It's just a warrior in a post-apocalyptic world with magic and super science. So, I think, again, show some love to the old characters. Throw in new characters for sure, too, because that's what a game like this is meant to be, to have fun with. It's what Smash and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawler is doing. You could have, like, Mario's been around for decades, but seeing Mario fight, who's a new character? Seeing Mario, say, just for sake of Sora. Sora's been around for a while too, but Mario's been around a lot longer. But, or Pac-Man even. Pac-Man versus Sora. Like, those older characters, or even if you want to go, like, much more recent. Okay, like, Pyra and Mithra. Okay, the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not that old. Or some of the more recent Pokemon. But again, just, we want to see old characters fight new characters. And we want to see characters fight each other that have no business meeting each other just because it's crazy to see that. And yet again, another old character that I want to bring up here, Secret Squirrel. Super secret Squirrel. And in this case, I would much prefer it be the Two Stupid Dogs incarnation of this character because he was much more serious and he had much more of a cool factor to him. And it was much more action-oriented. Probably because Gendy worked on that. But, he's got so many gadgets. He'd be basically kind of like a Dexter in that you could just have him pull out any random gadget he has on him. Laser guns. There's so much that he has that you could work with. Invent some new things for him. A grappling hook if you wanted. I think he had like almost like an Inspector Gadget kind of helicopter hat at one point or something. He had his little car that could fly. It could go in the water. He's a martial artist too. I mean, he's trained to actual hand-to-hand combat, so you may not even need that many gadgets for him. But yeah, like again, this could serve as a throwback to old Hanna-Barbera stuff as well, since this version of him is a rebooted version of the character. But again, it shows some love for that early CN stuff. Two Stupid Dogs and Gendy Tortovkoski again. If you put in Jack and Dexter, more Gendy love. Who wouldn't approve of that? And our last character for this video is going to be a new character. A new character who only exists in a short animation on Adult Swim's YouTube page, I think, or Adult Swim's website. You gotta put Pibby in. This is a character who, if you couldn't, people were begging for this to become a full series after they saw the short, and I did too. I think this could be a fantastic show if it's allowed to be as creative and as and if they let them use the properties that Warner Brothers has, like just in this one image here, you can see Princess Bubblegum, Fred Flintstone, Buttercup, the Tasmanian Devils in the background. If you could do a show like this using all those characters that's already owned by Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers and Adult Swim, you could have, I think people would be really, really interested in it. If that one pilot, short, whatever you want to call it, for Pibby is all you're going to get, you could show her and that short love by putting her into MultiVersus. That way she can already fight characters who shouldn't be together. Steven Universe, a character from Steven Universe is already going to be fighting a character from Game of Thrones. So just go with it. And the rumor is that like one of the rumored characters was supposed to be Rick and Morty. But MultiVersus also says that some of the characters that you're hearing might be in the game from certain places online. It might not be true. Now, that could just be them, trying to keep surprises from getting out ahead of time. But who knows? But as far as this goes, if we see no more of Pibby outside of that pilot, the very least they could do is put her in MultiVersus. I think that would be the perfect place for that. You could possibly even gauge how much interest people have in this character and in this pilot by seeing how many people would be willing, or how many people would use this character. If she's a skin you got to buy or character you got to buy, how many people buy her? Lots of ways to handle that. But those are 10 characters. And I think that would be a pretty cool addition to the characters that I've previously said I wanted and the known roster that we already have. Anybody else you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Check out all my other videos, including my previous MultiVersus videos if you would. And support my channel through Ko-fi if you like. When will we get more MultiVersus news? Who knows? Hopefully soon. I'm surprised we didn't get any really hardly at all before. Was expecting something at one of these big game showcases, but it didn't happen. But we'll get something soon, or eventually. Soon is relative, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.